A press conference is underway at the Fresno County Sheriff's Office after an arrest was made in connection to the 10 shootings in Fresno and Madera counties last year. Authorities believe 42-year-old Jorge Gracia is the serial shooter. Gracia was in court this morning after he became a person of interest when he brandished a firearm at a correctional officer.
We want to take you live now to a press conference happening now in downtown Fresno this midday, where Fresno County Sheriff Margaret Mims is providing an update on the random shootings and the arrests.
At that time, the shooting stopped. So for several weeks now, there have been no actual shootings that have been reported to law enforcement. What I am happy to report is that on January 8th, we took a suspect into custody. What happened was just outside of Kerman, a victim reported that he had been, a firearm had been brandished at him as he was driving in his vehicle. He drove into Kerman. The suspect vehicle followed him. As it turns out, the victim in this particular case was a California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation correctional officer, and he was armed. As he drove into the city of Kerman, he pulled into a gas station. The suspect followed him. The correctional officer pointed his gun at the suspect, told him to get out of the vehicle. The suspect did, and Kerman Police Department responded and took the suspect into custody. Realizing that the suspect vehicle matched the description in our series of shootings, the city of Kerman called the Sheriff's Office, Kerman Police Department, and the next day we served a search warrant on that pickup. Inside the pickup, there was a handgun as well as some methamphetamine. Tests on the handgun revealed that the bullets recovered from 5 of the shootings match bullets that were shot from that handgun. So we believe that this suspect is responsible for the shootings in the series that we've had recently. The suspect's name is Jorge Javier Garcia. He's 42 years old, and he lives in Kerman. He has a criminal history. He has a criminal history of sexual assault. In fact, he was convicted of 2 rapes. He spent 12 years in prison, and he is a 290 registrant, which means he is a registered sex offender. He also has a history of domestic violence as well as narcotics violations. The district attorney's office will be saying a few words. They have filed charges. He's currently in jail for a total bail of $1.2 million. I would like to introduce now Captain Rod Kreider. One of the beautiful things about this investigation is the Sheriff's Office certainly did not do this on our own. We depend on our law enforcement partners, the Highway Patrol, Kerman Police Department. The FBI even helped us out. This was quite an investigation, and it took all of us to bring this to a successful conclusion. So, Captain Kreider.
Thank you, Sheriff. I can tell you, we have a really great law enforcement community here in the Valley, and everybody really came together in this particular case. I know everyone on the stage, myself included, we had a lot of sleepless nights in December because we knew that this was occurring, and we were using every resource we had to try to find this person and stop the shootings before someone was killed. So really everyone came together. My hat's really off to the CDCR officer who actually called this in, Kerman Police Department for making the arrest, and then everyone coming together with the DA's office and the Fresno County Sheriff's Department working with CHP to make this happen. We're using every single type of technology.
You've been listening now to a press conference happening now in downtown Fresno at the office of the Fresno County Sheriff. You just heard Margaret Mims speaking about the arrest of the random shooter throughout Fresno and Madera counties. And right now, law enforcement is also giving credit to all of the other agencies that helped put this case together and result in this arrest.
Yeah, it turns out earlier this month, a correctional officer was a victim as the suspect pointed the gun at him on the roadway. He ended up pulling into a gas station, turned the gun on the suspect himself, made an arrest there with the police officers. Then they noticed, wait a minute, this truck matches the truck in all those shootings.
And Sheriff Mims also detailed the criminal record of the suspect arrested, Jorge Gracia. He has a lengthy criminal record, but the motive for the random shootings still remains under investigation. He's being held in jail right now on a $1.2 million bail. Several people were injured in these random shootings as an unidentified truck was firing at drivers along roads in Fresno and Madera counties. Here's a look at the suspect vehicle that it took to break this case.